Hi there, and welcome to my channel, a channel that only exists because, well,
I was robbed.
alright, that's a bit dramatic, but let me back up. My name is Max. I'm a dad. I have a daughter who's 3. My wife and I are expecting our second daughter any day now. I live here in Iowa, and like a lot of people who are in their 30s, they grew up in the 90s loving video games. I was no different. I played my Nintendo 64 religiously through my early childhood, and then my GameCube through kind of my early mid-teens. And it was a huge part of my childhood, both solo play and just with your friends, right? It was formative. And as time passed, video games kind of faded away from my daily life. You get busy with other things, right? And that happens to a lot of people. Even though I never really lost touch of kind of video game news and details, I stopped buying and playing with any real urgency or frequency until recently. And so let's talk a little bit about what being a dad is like. It's fascinating to see the world through the eyes of the person you love the most as they discover it. And, you know, I sold most of the games I owned through my life, except for my N64. And I'm happy I didn't sell that, because about 3 months ago, Foster, my 3-year-old, she started to want to play it, and we started to play games, and it was awesome. The first one she played was this one, Kirby the Crystal Shards, as she calls it, Pink Guy Walking Around, which is pretty wonderful. And that started to expand. She started to want to play my Mario 64, and
What is it, honey?
Mario.
What does he say?
Mamma Mia.
and you know, we're just starting to begin to understand what that's like. And it's super fun. It's super fun as a dad and as a gamer and as someone who's loved this type of content his entire life. And so naturally, if the N64 was kind of the first half, the GameCube was the second half of my childhood, as I said, and I don't have one. And so I thought, you know what? I want one. I want to buy one. I want to be able to share that with her. There's a little bit of midlife kind of, I wouldn't say crisis, that's a little strong, but midlife nostalgia, let's just call it that, where I want it as well for myself, right? And so, as a lot of people, when you want something that's not brand new or not on the shelves anymore at your local store, you go to Facebook Marketplace, and that's what I did. And that's where that robbed line comes into play here. Now, I consider myself decently savvy, decently web savvy. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't think I get swindled very often, but I think I had that happen to me here just a few weeks ago. I found a listing, a guy selling a GameCube and a handful of games, and I thought, this is perfect. This is exactly what I want. Had a couple games I knew. Let's start. Let's shoot him a note. And he responded right away. A little back and forth, and after a few back and forths, he sent me this photo. And as you can see, this is a big collection. And it has some heavy hitters. It has some games that we all know and love from the GameCube. And I kind of jumped at it. I said, oh my gosh, this is amazing. He was looking to unload it. I'm looking to pick it up. And after a little back and forth, he and I agreed to a price. And I, in good faith, sent him $150 as a down payment. And that's when things changed. His messages dropped off. Eventually his Facebook profile dropped off, and here I sit, $150 poorer and no GameCube or games in hand. Now, that sucks. I'm bummed. But what I'm more bummed about is the feeling that it's left in me. So, yeah, I could turn around and go spend more money and buy a GameCube and some games from someone else, and that would be fine, and then I'd have it, and I'd be able to share it with Foster. And every time I'd fire that thing up, I'd think, that jerk stole $150 from me. And that sucks. It sucks to have that feeling, right? He doesn't deserve to have that power over how I feel about the situation. And so I want to do something about it. And so that's why we're here. I am not a YouTuber. I am not a reseller. I'm not a flipper. I like a deal like the next guy, but I'm just a guy. And I am going to go on an adventure here with you, for whoever tunes in and wants to come along with me. And I have I have 2 goals and I have 1 rule. So I'm calling this this challenge Operation GameCube because at the end of this, my 2 goals, goal number 1 is to have a full-blown GameCube collection. I don't know what that really looks like at this moment. I don't have a games list. Maybe that comes together in a later video if this really pulls through into a series. But I want a full-blown GameCube collection. Obviously, I have games from my childhood I know I want, but I'm open to that expanding as we go here, and we'll figure out what that looks like here in a little bit. The second goal is at the end of it, when I'm done with it, I also want to be plus $150. I want that money back, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it at that point. I'm not going to burn it. I'll do something though, something symbolic. So I want to end north at the end of this equation, $150. The only rule I have is I cannot spend a single dollar that I've earned through my normal job. Because I spent $150 of those normal job dollars already, and you see where that got me. So any other way of acquiring games or dollars within legal means, of course, is fair game. So that could be flipping things, that could be selling stuff I already own and don't need. It could be charity if someone watching here wants to send me money or GameCube games. All of the above and probably other avenues are fair game. And so this is really an adventure in figuring it out. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to take. And I don't know how many stops in the journey we're going to have. But right now, I've got $0 and I've got 0 GameCube games. So really, up from here is the only place to go. So thanks for watching. Wish me luck. And let's see where it goes.